Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Joshua Harris. Newer creator, the young man has some good thought processes, and this is thought on Passport Bros and what gift that the Passport Bros have actually given men. Sorry for like my voice and everything. I actually have like Ricola in my mouth, so you guys will hear that. I've just been super sick lately. I'm trying my best to still make my daily videos and everything. So please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
I believe the greatest thing that Passport Bros have done for men is show men, especially black men. The greatest thing Passport Bros has done for me, especially black men, is to show us options.
I watched somewhat this video, and what Josh talks about is what I've actually seen and heard discussions of other gentlemen, especially younger men, and especially men in the African American community. So they're like, what you see surrounding you is what you think the world has to offer. When you don't know anything better, you think you're relegated to what is around you. And that's not the case. You guys have the ability to travel to a different state, travel to a different country, and see all these other things. And it's hard for people to imagine something different if they've never seen it before. They don't know what's out there. This is why I agree with them, Passport Bros. The more people watch some of these things, they see the options out there. They see the different women out there. It's not just relegated to the ghetto people or whatever it is that whatever community that they're kind of locked into and surrounded by most of their life.
It's unfortunate, but I want to check that out. What is that? It's unfortunate, but the honest truth is that, you know, as black men in America, it's been difficult to see the horizon. It's been difficult to see over the mountaintop. It's been difficult to see. Oh, she's beautiful.
He gets distracted so easily.
Very good looking. It's been difficult to see over the hurdles, you know. And you know, for me, I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I've been able to get a different experience of things where, you know, all right, so let's say, for example, you are the people you surround yourself with. And you don't know what you don't know unless you surround yourself with people who know more than you, or you open yourself to people or experiences that are more bigger than you. For example, I was very closed-minded. Now that I look back, I was very closed-minded in middle school. I didn't realize, and that's where a lot of my negative or pessimism comes from, because I was so caught up in only what I can see. And when I began, shout outs to Miss Chiccolo, she's I think the Italian or Irish teacher I used to have. She was never my teacher, but I would have a class in her class. Because when we move around, I'd have a class in her class, and she would always have these Tom Clancy books. And Tom Clancy and James Patterson. And that's where, or James Patterson. I think it was just James Patterson. I think my father got me Tom Clancy books, but, and I want to go back to reading, anyway, I'm gonna call them. Anyway, I would end up taking her books. And then I'd come back after class like, hey, I'm returning your book. I took this book to read it. And eventually a relationship built up because I became an avid reader, just going through her whole section of books, just like going through them. And I was never a student of hers, but she got to know me because I was always reading. And the reading is really what opened my mind to the possibilities of what life is about and what life can be. And I wasn't exposed to any of that prior to that. You know, I'm sure there's probably influences of people that I could have talked to, asked questions, but I wasn't there mentally. But the reading actually showed me like, yo, life is big, life is huge. And it's funny. I forgot what I was watching, but there was like, if you wake up and you automatically put yourself in front of a screen, you kind of limit your brain to a smaller way of thinking. Whereas if you can kind of project and see out, like see a large space and stuff like that, your mind opens up a bit more. And that's exactly what happened to me. Reading allowed my mind to open up more and get to see really what's out there. And I bring all that up to say it's the same thing with passport bros. You see, as a black man, a lot of us may have felony records, so you can't go anywhere. You can't leave the country. Or maybe it's a little bit more challenging. I'm not sure of the process. A lot of us have child support, back child support. So even when your kid turns 18, 21, you might still be paying 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years afterwards because you owe back stuff. So you ain't going nowhere. For a lot of times, unless you was in the military, a lot of black men couldn't afford the tickets. Or didn't know that they could travel like that. Just certain things we just didn't know. And, Passport Bros have shown us that, number one, the internet. Don't get me wrong, this is not a channel putting down black women or anything like that, but we have to understand that black women don't really care about black men. I think 90% of most women don't really care about men.
Yes.
I believe men are seen as a utility, especially in America. Men are seen as a utility, a means to an end.
Yeah.
You get what you want, and then once you're done and they can't fulfill or can't make you happy or this or that, you're not going to bend and you don't get what you want, and all these other things that your list of 25 that you don't get, you move on to the next. Or even if you find somebody that comes closer to the 25, 30, 50, 100 things that you want, you go to them. Bounce. And again, I'm not dissing anything on anybody. The reality is that everybody's bouncing from relationship to relationship, partner to partner.
That's
so
true.
I don't understand why people are really taking anybody serious at this point, but anyway, that's to your own degree. The beauty about it is that we have seen now that there are women all over the effing planet. And yes, making 50 grand a year is not much in America, but if you can make something happen with 50 grand a year, if you know how to use it,
yes,
and you know how to invest it, and it's going to take some time, but that money can go a long way in other parts of the country, in other parts of the world. And I'm not saying those women out there are perfect either. Again, thinking that you're going out there and you find something special that's different from America. No, the game is different. The rules are different. The people are the same.
Yes.
The demands and everything else is the same. Well,
women are
maybe
women.
Slightly different. But bring them to this environment and you realize very quickly, yes, they're all the same. So these false expectations and hopes and dreams that men have of passporting and all this stuff is foolish to me. You got to have a level head whether you're in America or you're out here, in my opinion. But we see that we have options.
Yes. That's the main goal of passport.
Women don't realize that you don't have the options. Like, yo.
Story of one of the El Paso boys. He was telling, my friend, how he didn't know. He thought all women were just like the women where he came from. He literally said that. He said all he's ever seen was his mother and all these other, because he came from a single mother household. He's a black gentleman, younger. And he said all the girls in his neighborhood were all hood rat chicks, all ghetto chicks. And he thought those were all the women that were available. He didn't realize there were other women. And then he traveled from where he was to El Paso and he saw a difference. And he was just like, oh, there's different women out there. And then he saw my content and then started seeing, oh, there's even more options out there. It's not just different states. It's actually different countries have different types of women with different types of features and different types of upbringings. It makes sense. At first, I was like a little bit confused because of the internet. The internet is so big nowadays. I would just assume people kind of just explore it. But it makes sense that some people don't. So they whatever's surrounding them, whatever they see in real life is what they assume is all they're able to attain or get. But when they see videos like mine, see videos like other passport bros and other content like us here, they see, oh shit, not all women are like this? Because where I came from, all the women were like this. I didn't know there were different types of women. It really opens up people's eyes. This young gentleman puts it in very good words. He's very well spoken, and I'm actually proud of him. He has like 500 like subscribers. Let's help him get to 1,000. But what he's speaking about is what I've realized with a lot of younger men. I didn't realize this. When I was growing up, I was immersed in internet. Yes, I'm a millennial, or I didn't grow up with the internet, but when I grew up, I was into online video games and online stuff, so I was immersed in the internet as soon as it came out. So I was able to see kind of everything, and I was a big avid watcher. Like, I love watching movies, I love watching a lot of things, so I can see the difference. And I happen to be Asian. I happen to be Cambodian, and I see how my family operates, and I see how the people in my school operate. Then I see how everybody else operates. Then I'm like, oh my God, everybody's so different. Everything works so differently. People work so differently. People's minds work so differently. People's cultures work so differently. I happen to live in LA, so I get to see all the cultures. If you lived somewhere in the Midwest and, around that range, it makes more sense that you've only seen the people around you. You never get to see other cultures, other races as much. So I think it's wonderful that this man is speaking on that particular topic.
Women really think that they go into other countries and winning because they getting dingling down or like, these dudes are not marrying you. And even still, you wouldn't be happy after a couple years because automatically as a woman, like, you want some man on your level or above. So
Right.
these dudes in these other countries aren't even coming close to where we're at in America. So you'll literally be taking care and providing for them for the rest of your lives. And that's okay. I'm not knocking anybody. I think all of that is great. Again, I know a lot of people are whatever about what's going on. It's hard to find a wife, but it's very easy to get some ass. It's much easier.
Yeah.
But even myself, I may say that there's difference between being intimate with somebody that you care for and
Yes.
you ride with, and and just somebody who's a smash for the day, the month, the weekend, or whatever the case may be. But again, the greatest gift that Passport Bros has given black men is the fact that we see that we have options, that we can travel. You don't have to deal with the certain attitudes and mindsets that here in America. And even if you choose to do so, you don't have to marry it. I don't understand why men are upset about this. Like, back in the days, you literally had to court. Dating is not courting, okay? You literally had to court, wait 6 months, a year. There was no texting back and forth. There was letters, which built up a whole much more emotions and interest in a person. I remember from middle school, I didn't have text messages. I had to wait till the next day. I had to pretend I was somebody else to speak to a girl. I had to pretend I was a female to speak to Heather back in the day. I had to be like, I'm a female. and fucking pretend I'm somebody else. But that's what I had to do. And again, I'm not mad at the game. I'm just glad that the game has been exposed. I'm glad we see things for what they are.
Yes.
I'm glad we are able to really internalize and accept, like, this is what it is.
And that's what Red Pill is. It's just telling you, man, it is what it is. This is how everything actually operates in real life. It's not us telling them you have to hate women or you have to do this. No, this is how it operates in real life. This is what you can do about it. Get to the gym, work on yourself, and do all that. But if you don't, it's just going to be a harder life for you. It's just what it is.
And rebound, recover, decide what's best for us. And again, these videos are never about putting down women.
Nope.
Whatever rage or whatever I felt or thought before, that shit is done. I am not upset.
See, he's over his Red Pill rage. He was upset. Now he's realized it is what it is. You just have to work around it, work with it, or just not deal with it. Those are your three options.
I'm not angry. I am totally happy for how things are. I'm a little concerned for my daughter. Because it's like at an earlier age, you're gonna have to decide, okay, I'm gonna focus on being a wife material woman, or I'm gonna be in these streets. Because it's like once you get a taste of them streets, man, you're gonna want to go back.
Yeah.
Men or woman. So I'll leave that at that. That's just my personal opinion. You decide what you believe and feel and think. Let me know in the description and your thoughts in the box. Let me know what's up. Talk to me.
Whew, that was some good chow. I love men of all races, creed, and communities coming and speaking about this. You know, you see how everybody views certain things, but then how they seem to view things now after they've been educated in a sense. And it's a little bit different for everyone. You know, like I said, in his community, and like I said, in a lot of communities that of my young viewers that watch, yeah, they've only ever seen a certain type of woman. They don't really see many other types of women out there, right? And because you see only what you see, most people assume, which is not incorrect in a sense, that that's the only thing that's out there, right? So this movement actually gets to help open up men's eyes and say, you know, all the women around you, they might not be the best, but there's actually other women around that actually might fit what you want. I'm not saying that you're going to guarantee to get any of these women. I'm not saying it's not easy to get any of these women. To be a passport, bro, you need to make a decent amount of money or a decent amount of money remotely. So it's not an easy task, but the option is out there if you are truly looking. So please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.